I was 23, 24 when I left the Chron, and yeah, Hilary refers to it as my early midlife crisis because I got my NCE, the sort of, my seniority, and I would have been looking around for jobs anyway. And a friend of mine who lived in New Zealand was getting married and said, "Why don't you come over and come to the wedding in New Zealand?" And I thought, well, actually, if I'm going to buy a ticket, spend all that money, I'm going to make it worthwhile. So I jacked the job and I went and lived in New Zealand for a year and did various things. I'm quite lucky in that I'm 6'4" and about 18 stone, so I can soak up a fair amount of booze before I fall over. I managed to hold it together pretty well and not embarrass myself. I have been on press trips where I have seen journalists get horrendously drunk and seriously embarrass themselves. And especially when you're doing something like travelling, you're staying in hostels and you're rocking up on a night and you're trying to get in with a load of people who you've never met before. The skills of journalism in that kind of, being sociable, very quickly finding out about people, being approachable, convincing people to open up, are important. It's not just the time I spent in New Zealand, but since then, it's been even cocktail parties. I then came back and applied to local newspapers. This is kind of the start of how I ended up doing this and being paid to drink beer. I was offered a couple of jobs on local newspapers when I came back. And it was funny, the contrast between, and again, maybe this is a confidence thing, when I first was trying to get my first job in journalism, getting endless rejections and going for interviews and not getting anything. I went for, I think, 4 interviews when I came back and got offered 4 jobs on local newspapers because I had the seniority, because I had an established portfolio, and because actually I came back a little more cockier than I was when I went away. When we're recruiting in my team, and I head up the comms team, so we're dealing with social media, with press relations and all the rest of it, what makes people stand out is if they're not just, they don't have a journalistic background, they can write well, but they can also, I can put together your packages, I can run Premiere Pro, I can run Audition, I can handle all the CMSs that you're dealing with, and they're not just one-dimensional. And increasingly, we're seeing more and more candidates coming with those bolt-on skills. So I get people who apply for jobs, they want to work for us, but also I get people, freelance journalists, who want me to commission them to write stuff for them. And the ones that stand out are the people who clearly have tailored their approach and they understand what you do. Because I get 20 or 30 a week just saying, I like pubs, I like beer, can you pay me to write about them? And they're the ones that get deleted. The ones that don't get deleted, the people who actually put a bit of work in, they understand the audience, they understand the publication, they understand what it is we do.